Good afternoon, YouTube. All right, we did the Crony test. You've probably seen that by now on our 1377. Very impressive. I have never, ever seen a 1377 in Canada, for the Canadian version, obviously, so under 500 feet per second, ever get those kind of readings. So usually they're like 413 or 383, you know, because they do a lot of stupid crap in order to detune these. One of which, oh, where is it? You get, this is a standard valve you'll find with a pisser hole. That's only one mod they do. The other mod Crosman does is a small pisser hole in the transfer port. Now, this is a full-size transfer port that's out of my 1322 that I bought back from my buddy. That he kind of, well, he did a few things. So, anyway, I've got this 14-inch barrel, and nobody has any stock right now of the 10.1 except for DL air guns, and it's $16 and another 20 something for shipping. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so I'm thinking if I can cut this to the precise length I need, okay, it would put the barrel on the inside still being fine here. And let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the original style front sights from the old versions, and this would go in and it would be on the inside, because there is a taper cut in this that I'm going to show you. And I don't have a lathe anymore, so I can't taper cut. But I may be able to do it with that barrel and not have a taper cut and still be able to pull this off and not have to get a new barrel, which definitely would make my wife happy. Anyway, we need to find out what makes this little sucker tick. So, we need a few tools, obviously. So let's take off the rear sight first. That's just a flat blade screwdriver. That's all we need. Now I need this as a 22 cal for doing grouse hunting, okay? And because 0.177, yeah, even if I, you know, went to 493 feet per second, I still would not get enough energy. You need 6.8 foot-pounds of energy, at least. Even 6 pounds would do it. Anyway, we're not getting anywhere near that. We're not even at 4 pounds of energy on this sucker, even at 20 pumps, which is 485 feet per second. But I want to know what is in this thing, not only for a valve, but also for a transfer port, to see how far I actually got to take this mod. Wow, that's in there a little bit. Well, they really wanted to jam that in on us, didn't they? There we go. Wow, the hammer spring is in there good. Yeah, we're going to have to pull it apart. All right. Now, the one thing I noticed is they changed the size of the Allen key for the breech screw. Quite interesting. So it's a little bit bigger. Not by much. However, looks like my buddy didn't completely bitch out the breech screw on the 1322. So that's good news. So... but I'm going to use this gun, most of it anyways, for my 1322 conversion. Then maybe I'll reconvert that one back to a 1377. We'll see what kind of parts we get to play with first, though. Wow, come on, are you serious? What the hell? Okay, it's going to be a little bit more of a pain in the ass than what I thought it would be. Need my wife's help. Can you come here for a sec, honey? I need you to hold the gun up, like with your hand like that. I'm going to have to pound on the barrel, so don't over squeeze the barrel too tight. Okay, let go. it, kids. All right. Now, for now, I want to get this out of here. Make sure that stays good. So we have the pisser hole transfer port. Interesting. So, what do we get for a valve though? And we also have a modified valve. What the hell? Alright, we're going to have to do a complete strip down. Oh well. Okay, so we need another Allen key. Because they put a Phillips screw in the back, an Allen key in the front. That's just craziness. Okay, first we got to get this pump arm off. So let's take care of that first. All this stuff over here. Wow, did they ever smack that puppy down in tight? Almost out. Well, we must remember there's a narrow end and a not so narrow end. So we shall face that away over there. Okay, now we need an Allen key for this part. Find out what the hell fits it. Oh, there we go. First shot. Perfect. Now this is where things get a wee bit interesting, guys, because, well, you know there's a spring and a detent ball, right? So you better hold this together really tight. And then we do this. And yep, there's our spring. So now we set this up here so it doesn't fall over. Now, to get the valve out. That's interesting that they're still doing the exact same mod, yet we got more balls out of this sucker. I've never seen that happen. Alright, so you need a wooden dowel, by the way, and drill a hole down there about 2 inches. And then well, that is the weirdest shit ass valve I've ever seen in my life. Weird. Look at this. Like something out of a freaking sci-fi movie or something. That's freaking weird. Like, what the hell? Even the valve stem's turning. Cool valve stem. Okay. Check valves there. So I guess what they did was reduce the innards, creates more air pressure, smaller containment unit, a little bit more horsepower. Interesting. Freaking A. Different design. Way to go, Chinese Crosman facility. That is really freaking weird ass. Anyway. Alright. So, now we have a new valve here. Well, it's the one, actually, this is a full powered valve. Okay. And this is what we're going to put into this side. So, because we need this for our 22 caliber side. And I need to oil this thing. And where did my friggin' oil go? Ah, right here. Now I use 30 weight non-detergent motor oil just in case you guys are curious. Because in this way I don't ever have to worry about replacing seals. So, at least not for decades. Anyhow, put a little bit in here so things can slide. Oh, and this O-ring size, they're normally called a number 9. The actual size, if I can just get this for you guys so you know, you can buy these refrigerator O-ring kits on Amazon, but it's a pump up, but still, it's a 11 times 2 is what it's called. So it actually looks like that. That's an 11 times 2 is what they call it. So, and looks like I got a bunch. So we're good to go for years. But the O-ring that was on there was pretty done in, and I don't know what he oiled this thing with originally, but for the original gun, but either way, we've got her. And now we take our wooden sticky. Now we got to get that to turn. That does not always work to our benefit, does it? Ah, we can do it this way. Just want to make sure that we're all good here. I don't know what kind of white crap this stuff is. Their idea of some kind of a Loctite. Okay, so we're all evened up. That's good to go. That's as far as I'm going for now, because we need to make sure that these, now I do have a 22 caliber bolt. I may yet put the steel breech back on and still put a scope. We'll have to see. But the big thing here is I gotta get these barrels exactly the same and then fine tune the end after so I can get the cap on perfectly fine. So I won't have the taper, and this is the taper I was telling you about. So we shouldn't have to worry about the taper, because on this end it's actually a little bit larger than the original on the front side. So we should be actually okay with that. Yeah, we will. We'll definitely be okay with that. That'll be good there. So yeah, that should work out. Either way, if we want to, we can put the steel breech back on. But I'm gonna have to go hacksaw away. I got 10.1 inches here, and that's gonna face off to the very front, and it'll balance it out. So I'm gonna cut a little ahead, and then I'm gonna custom tune this. That's gonna take me a while. So, but the original one is kind of interesting too. I could actually reuse this if I want to. And the original one, of course, would be no different. It would come out the front. Here, I wouldn't use the original on this one because too much wiggle waggle, right? So that's not going to stay balanced with a plastic breech. But with this newer style, most of the barrel is in there. It's the right perfect diameter. So, and if I use my steel breech, I can also ensure that it's dead center locked either way. I think we may just put the steel breech back on. We'll have to put a scope, and that's okay. I know where I can steal a scope. So I got a few little things in my collection yet. Okay, so Crosman has definitely not changed their valve as far as the pisser hole goes, but they've definitely changed the design, because that is freaking weird, yo. I mean, come on, this is what we normally get, right? This is an old brass one that's Canadianized. People are looking for these brass ones, so I kind of hang on to them when I can get them. But that is really bloody freaking interesting that they did it that way. They just reduced some airspace inside and gave it more pressure that way. Cute. Okay, so we'll be able to rebuild a 1377, and we've got all the parts for that. So we can still have two pistols. Maybe I'll give the 1377 when I rebuild it to my wife, if she wants it. If not, I'll do something else with it. Future projects, you know. Anyway, so now we know a few changes that they've made with screws and whatnot. Ah, you bugger. So they've definitely made some changes there. The other thing they did was we now have Phillips screws for the grips. But they're also shorter. So my beautiful custom wood grips, the last and final set I have in existence for lefties that are my full target style, I can't use them unless I'm willing to bore these holes a little bit wider and a little deeper, and I really don't want to dick with those. So I may just see if my buddy's still interested, because he asked me when we did a deal, you got another set of grips? Technically no, because I didn't want to get rid of those. So I'll see if he wants to make a trade or something, I don't know. So I know he wants a set of grips, and he's lefty like me, so. Anyway, what else can we say? Pretty much nada. Interesting? Yes. Definitely interesting. Gonna be fun putting all this back together again and getting the barrel figured out. Hopefully I can be successful with this barrel. So, because I really can't put a 14-inch on. It's gonna be too much. You gotta watch the speed, right? Because it is a pistol no matter what. So, at least with a 10-inch I'm safe. 12-inch I'm safe, but the only way I could justify 12, well, actually, no, I could go 14 if I increase the pisser hole in this one size over. I could go 14 and I would still be able, I would actually get about 490 out of it. So, I don't want to, though. It's a pain in the butt to set these things up to drill them. I'll leave it. We'll just go the other route. Try for the 10-inch. See what we can do. Once it's all done, by the way, I'll show you guys a reassembled video of this, and we'll crony it and see how it does. I think it's going to do just fine, though, to be honest. I don't think we'll have any issue there. But I do want to get the pump reinstalled before I go any further with this, because, yeah, or I'll forget which way that damn pin goes in. So, see ya.